Hi, it's Rena. I'm in my car. I'm pretty impressed with myself, frankly, because I was trying to think, okay, how can I rig this thing to work while I'm driving? And what I did was I used a ponytail holder to lash the camera to the cradle for my navigation system, and I decided that that was the best way to go about it. We'll see, right, when I see what this video looks like. But anyways, more on where I'm headed in a minute, and forgive me for, watching the road while I'm actually operating a motor vehicle. I had a friend forward me an email. I thought it was hilarious. It sent me back to moveon.org, who are doing their version of a countdown clock, only it is a count up clock. The time starts from the moment that Senator McCain announced Governor Palin as his running mate on the Republican ticket for president, and it's basically still counting, and it will only stop when Governor Palin gives a press conference or answers questions of an unscripted, non-human interest nature. And really, honestly, I'm really happy to see people asking questions about that, because the fact that she has not given a press conference, didn't do it first thing, frankly, I find just completely remarkable. And the fact that it seems like they are holding her to brief her, to give her some foreign policy background, things of that nature, before they feel equipped to put her in front of the cameras, says, that answers the question about her readiness to step into the job of President of the United States should the Republicans get elected, and should, God forbid, something happen to John McCain. And kind of sideline, that also says an awful lot about Senator McCain's judgment, that he would pick somebody who needs what sounds like, the last I heard, and not for the next 2 weeks, is she's going to hold a press conference or do a town hall or take unscripted questions. So at a bare minimum, we're looking at 3 weeks of prep time they feel they need before they can put Governor Palin out there in front of people doing anything other than giving a stump speech and or reading a teleprompter. And that says something about Senator McCain's judgment. And where I find the irony in this is, I think rightfully, and I know the governor herself has not made these statements, but I have heard them from direct McCain campaign surrogates, that the coverage of the governor had been sexist up to this point. And what they highlight are, the questions about her family. Those questions never came from the Obama campaign. They really did come from the press. And I do find those questions ridiculous. The idea that she has a family somehow precludes her from being able to do the job if you accepted at any time that she was ready to do the job in the first place is, it's ridiculous. She has a husband who sounds like he is ready to step in and deal with the child-rearing issues, and, I take them at their word. I think she's if you allow, which I don't, that she is prepared to step in the job on qualifications, I don't think her family has anything to do with it. And so I do think that coverage of Governor Palin was sexist. But what's not sexist is expecting Governor Palin to do what the other candidates on the tickets have done. Senator McCain, Senator Obama, and Senator Biden have been through countless debates where they had to debate other people in an open forum without knowing what the questions were beforehand. All of them have done countless interviews where they didn't know the content of the questions beforehand. They have all done countless town halls where they're taking questions from the general public on issues that are important to them. And so there is an element of vetting that is a public vetting in being able to answer questions, and demanding that Governor Palin, do the same thing that her counterparts have been doing all along is the epitome of equal opportunity as far as I am concerned. And so I don't quite understand why she isn't answering questions, and I think that we should all demand that she answer questions. And I'm not talking about salacious questions. I do think that questions about her teenage daughter should be off limits, because really, what does that have to do with anything? But she should answer policy questions like, how many times has she been overseas? How much experience does she have in understanding the factional and sometimes tribal nature of Middle East politics? How much does she understand the European economic community and the growth of India and China as it impacts American workers in a global market? What are her policies? What does she have to say about her attitude that abortion should be illegal even in the cases of rape and incest? What does she have to say about the fact that she thinks intelligent design should be taught alongside evolution in science classes in public schools? What does she have to say about the fact that she doesn't believe that we should have any kind of comprehensive sex education at any age in schools? What does she have to say about the fact that she is fully in favor of a school voucher program, even if that program takes monies away from underserved public education markets where vouchers wouldn't reach? What does she have to say about tax cuts? How does she think that's going to help grow American jobs to continue to provide tax cuts to the wealthiest of Americans without some preference to the working middle class? What does she have to say about, the state of the American worker, the state of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the state of the mortgage crisis, the state of the credit crisis, the state of the banking industry in the United States of America? What does she think about plans to help homeowners keep their homes? These are valid questions of a policy nature. She wants to be number two, which means that we have to be prepared for her to step in as number one at any time, and we have a right to know as citizens where she stands on those issues. She didn't address any of those issues in her speech. I've seen snippets of her stump speech since she spoke at the Republican convention, and she hasn't addressed any of those issues. She's just continued to take swipes at Senator Obama and to, furthermore, repeat that idea that somehow being a community organizer is less noble and entails less responsibility than being a mayor of a small town. So, I think she has to put herself out there and answer questions. I don't think it's okay that they're sequestering her and blocking access to the press. The press will help everybody make vital decisions. I don't understand why the governor isn't doing it. And working backwards, the only reason I can think she isn't doing it is that she isn't prepared to answer those questions. So I expect the traditional media, the news media, particularly the published, the televised news media, to continue to answer those questions, to ask those questions about her readiness and why she's unwilling to answer questions. So I said I'd give you more on where I'm headed here in my car, and I've pulled into a parking lot while I've been talking because I always talk too much. But what I'm doing is I'm doing canvass today for Senator Obama, for a senator who's running in my home state, as well as for my district congressperson. I do this every weekend. I show up at 2 o'clock on Saturday and at 2 o'clock on Sunday, and I get my list of voters whose doors I'm going to knock on. And I go out and I meet voters and I listen to what they have to say. And some of them are neutral on Senator Obama. Some of them are for Senator McCain. Some of them are for Senator Obama. And so it just expands my experience. It doesn't take that long. It's not intimidating. You don't have to know everything when you knock on somebody's door. And not only am I showing up, but two people that I recruited who have never knocked on a door for a candidate in their life are going to appear with me and learn how to do this and dedicate their time and get out there and talk to voters and ensure that we turn out our vote, because I live in a swing state. And I'm going to do everything in my power to deliver this swing state for Senator Obama. And believe me, there's a lot more like me. So if you're watching this and you're for Senator Obama, present yourself at a campaign office. You only need to go to his website, www.barackobama.com. And there will be a list of, you can search a list of activities close to your zip code that will include the campaign offices, and present yourself there. Make some phone calls, stuff some envelopes, and definitely get out there and knock on some doors. It's the single most effective way to ensure that people vote and to ensure that when they do vote, they vote for your candidate. So you guys have a great day. I'm going to be talking to voters. We'll see you soon.